This is Mickey Adams. I live in College Station, Texas, and I am lucky enough to be a dealer and a representative and an endorsee for Mullen pedal steel guitars, and I play the G2 model. Those of you who are not familiar, please visit us at www.mullenguitars.com and check out our flagship G2 model. This lesson is basically predicated upon Buck Reed's arrangement of Alabama Jubilee. Now, in my opinion, this is probably one of the most complex pieces that was ever put on paper for a pedal steel guitar. And it has everything under the sun. Triplets, hammer-ons, pull-offs, 16th notes, 32nd notes, changes in fingering, rapid-fire machine gun type, mind-boggling speed. That's Buck Reed. He is such an accomplished player. And he's a great inspiration to me, and I appreciate all of his support, which I'm getting too, which is a good thing. Speaking of that, before we get started into this, we're going back to Sweden the second week of April, and Buck is going with me, and we're going to basically put our two heads together, and we are going to come up with a syllabus that's just going to knock your socks off. Buck's going to teach from the front, I'm going to teach from the front. One of us is going to be in the audience going around, making sure that everybody's grasping what we're teaching. And the purpose of this is kind of like a dry run too for building a syllabus to teach in the U.S. because you guys know me. There's nothing I would rather do in my retirement or my old age. Just drive around in my bus and teach pedal steel guitar and make friends and play music and live the good life. We'd really like to see that come to fruition. Hopefully it will. Before we get into this, I'm going to start at measure number 18, by the way. So if you don't have the tab, I do suggest you go get this one, www.buckreed.com. We're also working on Cry and Kelsey's song, so if you want to get Alabama Jubilee too, jump right in here with us. There's a lot of good things for you to have in your arsenal in this song right here. I've been practicing this song for a year, and I can play it, but I'm not there yet. Okay, it constantly challenges me to improve my technique. That's what I need in a piece of music too. So, okay, before we get into playing this song, let me show you this one little simple concept. It's a blocking technique that I was doing subconsciously. Play along with me this simple phrase: thumb, index, middle, B pedal. This is 8-7-6-B. That's a simple phrase, right? And I'm using a straight fingering, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go play this one, then I'm going to play it in reverse up here at position number 5, which is a simple phrase too. But getting from here to here and effectively dampening everything, I realized that I was doing this. I'll play the first groove, but when I get to hammer the bar on here, my ring finger was actually set below the bar because I knew it had to be dampened prior to. So as I was putting the bar down, my ring finger was making contact with the strings first, effectively, shooing away any stray cats, that were, whining from my last phrase and giving me a clean palette. Also, I'm going to move now to the phrase at position number 5 and strike index, thumb, and then middle. Now, if you're going to roll this one, you're going to see that your thumb is moving back and forth as we change positions. It's kind of a rolling technique. So going from thumb, index, middle to index, thumb, middle. You can actually do it start with my middle finger too. The roll is a little bit wider, but other than that, it's basically the same technique. So, okay, so let's get into the phrase. We're going to begin with the pedals and levers down, A and B, and let's lower string 2 a half step. Okay, I'm going to give you this one really slowly because this is a complex move to master. First, I'm going to give it to you at about a quarter speed of the record. That's it. Let's look at it. Let's begin A and B, pedal down, string 2 lower to half step. Hammer on string 4 to position 1. Then strike 1, okay? We're going to dampen that and move the bar up to only string 4 at fret 4, okay? And strike 4, 3, 4, 1. So we have now we're going to come back to fret number 1. Okay? Pull off string number 4 from fret 1. Strike 5, then 2, then 5 again and raise the pedal. And strike 6. Now, that's about a week's worth of practice getting that one run right there. Okay, now I'm going to play slowly through the rest of this portion of the solo. And what you're going to do is, I mean, it's all really pretty simple and flowing and melodic. There's nothing really too complicated. You just have to do the seat time and read the tab. Okay, there's a couple of places where that I'm going to stop and address, but other than that, it's fairly straightforward. But it's very, very fast. Okay, so at the end of this. That one's rather difficult for me to do slow. Okay? That's what you're looking at. Okay, so let's go to measure number 21. And this is right at the end of these hammer-ons with, excuse me, they're actually pedal bends. And we come to here. That's a triplet. That's a 16th. That's a 16th. These are basically just flowing major scales. And if you go back to one of the first lessons in my book was a crossover. Now, you see how important that was? Now you see it. Believe me, I do. Because this, a lot of this was relatively easy. But measure number 21 was what basically stumped me, because I couldn't get that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 sequence, because I just wasn't coordinated with it with my right hand. But you know, after practicing it for 19 years, you know, I'm just about there. It's more difficult for me to play slow now than it is for me to play at tempo. And I, just like everybody else, I miss notes here and there, and I go back and I play it over and over and over and over. It's one of the laws of learning. It's called the law of recency. Okay, and those things that are most often repeated are easiest to recall. And nothing is going to replace the seat time. So if you find a concept in here, or a group of notes that you're having trouble executing in time, stop right there. Drill it over and over and over until it becomes second nature. And in the end, you will see that more than likely you'll come back to your guitar a couple of days later and it's almost like you've got it, and it's ingrained in your brain at that point. So I can't stress that enough, guys. Exercise is the key to playing the pedal steel guitar. Exercise and coordination. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Happy New Year to each and every one of you. And I hope to see you in the not too distant future. See you in Dallas. Don't miss the Dallas show. This is Mickey in College Station, and I'll see you right back here with your pedal steel, guaranteed. So long.